Mr. Wells, is it all worth it?
It is when it works. You know, the one film of mine where I had total control, Kane. The studio hated it, but they didn't get to touch a frame. Ed.
Yes?
Visions are worth fighting for. Why spend your life making someone else's dreams?
In 1950s Hollywood, struggling director Ed Wood Jr. is trying to get his movies made. And when he meets former star Bela Lugosi, he's finally able to get one of his pictures greenlit. This leads to an increased motivation to get his pictures financed and out into theaters. Along the way, we're treated to a look into the process of independent filmmaking, as well as Ed Wood's struggle to get his movies financed. This film is a joyous love letter to Ed Wood's optimism and energy when he makes films. Johnny Depp's excellent performance as Ed Wood shows us this guy who loves his work and is extremely passionate. Even though the man can be flawed, aloof, and irresponsible, we can't help but follow him on this journey and root for him. And that's because Johnny Depp brings such a charisma to the part, such a likability. He does a wonderful job of selling the innocence of Ed Wood, as well as the heart of the man. This is, without a doubt, my favorite Johnny Depp performance. But the character that helps bring out Ed Wood's innocence and joyfulness is the former star, Bela Lugosi. Brilliantly played by Martin Landau, the former Dracula star is now a drug addict and a has-been. He's very angry, he's very downtrodden. He's upset with the world. And watching Bela, through Ed Wood, rediscover the joys of life, of show business, is rewarding. He gets this beautiful arc where he comes to terms with his addiction and his failures, and he comes to an understanding of what he's been doing with his life. And it's heartbreaking, but it's satisfying too, because he's coming to this realization, and he's going to become a better person because of it. And we just get this one scene where we can tell that something in him has changed, where Ed is shooting a scene in front of his house. He's kinder, he's more gentle, and he has suggestions for how the scene should go. He's more involved. Ed wants Bela to rush through the scene. Bela says, what if I just stop and I look at this rose and enjoy life? And it just shows you this difference between the young and the old, and it's wonderful. And you as the viewer come to this understanding that he's learned something, that this is an important moment in his life. And Martin Landau is just so engaging as Bela Lugosi. He gives this three-dimensional feeling to the character. And I hate that he beat out Samuel L. Jackson at the Oscars, but watching this, he deserves it. This is another movie that just makes me think to myself, God, I love movies. There's all these moments where he's talking to producers, he's getting stuff done, and we see his process, and it's just like, yeah, we're making a movie. And this is a hilarious film. Every joke hits, fueled by this witty and sharp dialogue. And there's so many shots in this movie that are so gorgeously composed. I didn't realize that Tim Burton was capable of a film like this. And Howard Shore's score somehow is capable of evoking the Ed Wood style while still showcasing the emotion of the story. This film is a wonderful love letter to Ed Wood and the filmmaking process. It's funny, it's heartfelt, it's beautiful, and it understands its characters. This is the best movie of Tim Burton's career, the best movie of Johnny Depp's career, definitely the best of Sarah Jessica Parker's career, and even arguably Martin Landau's career. This is a film that feels like it was made with pure love and joy. I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I would recommend it to anyone. Ed Wood absolutely gets an A+.